Okay, so the next thing we're going to learn about is something that's very useful and probably kind of fun, and it's a place where we can use a variable. So let's see how. So let's take a look at this program. If you click on here, it brings up this is called an input box, and it says please enter your name, and you type that, and then the value goes in here. So this is a variable assignment to the label box here, but the value that's being assigned is not entered by the program, it's entered by the user of the program, right? I just typed that in. So I'm assigning the value to here. So this is a way to let the user input some information and capture it. Now then we store it in a variable, and then we can do something with that variable. So let's take a look at the code, and it's actually here's the form. So I want you to make this form, and you can pause the video while you make it, and then I'll double click on the input box button. So you can pause now. Okay, now I'll assume that you've come back, and double click on here, and this is the code here. So this is there's 4 lines of code here, and the first one is a dim statement. So we're declaring a variable, but actually you're allowed to declare more than one variable at a time in one dim statement if you like, and that's what we're doing here. We're declaring one variable and then a second variable. So you can do that if you put a comma in between them. They both have to be the same type of variable. So prompt and full name are both of the type string. Now we haven't used really a numeric variable yet, so far we've only used string variables. Okay, so anyway, we have 2 variables that we've declared, and now we're going to assign values to both of them, and by values we mean text. So the first one, prompt, is assigned this text, please enter your name, and you saw that show up on the input box. If you don't remember, I'll show you. Here, that's what shows up here. So whatever you assign to the variable prompt, you'll see why in a minute, or how that gets put there. Okay, the next variable, the second variable, was full name, and so we're going to assign that a value, but instead of assigning it like we did before, just a text value, or like we did to this, just a text value, we're going to use this. And this is a function, and this function calls up, or creates and calls up, that box, that input box. So it takes one argument here, or we're putting in one argument here, and that's the variable prompt, which has this. So if you could just put in this text in here. You could just say, you could just put this in here instead of, I think it should work just the same way. Okay, let's check it. Yeah, it still works the same way. Still get this. Okay, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use the prompt variable. Okay, so now what this does is whatever the user inputs into the box, that gets transferred into here. Okay? So the prompt variable is just text that appears on the, it's like you can put some instructions on that input box. And then, but what the user types in then gets transferred to here. So now we have whatever the user typed in stored in the variable full name, which is a string variable. Okay, so now we have something in there, and then we just do what we've always done, which is take that variable, what we've done, or I should say that, then we do what we've done earlier today, and we take that variable and we drop its value into the text property of label 1 so that it shows up. Okay, so try this and see if you can get it to work, and maybe you can have a different label, and you can have a different set of instructions here, but still just try it, type it in and try it yourself. Now remember, this is called, this input box, we say it takes an argument. We're putting in one argument, and it's the prompt variable.